Great to see you, Ken.
Thank you very much, Harvey.
How you been? What occupies your time these days, Ken?
But what occupies my time now is watching Nottingham Forest trying to stay in the Premiership. Really. I'm playing a few rounds of very bad golf every week.
Where are you playing?
I play out in Old Common in Bray.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you get to see any of the cricket in Pembroke this summer?
No,
On the stream at all?
Oh yeah, on the stream. I still keep a great interest in Pembroke. Haven't been down there for a long while, but because of now playing golf, uh, grandkids, I've plenty of other outlets. Yeah.
Well, let's wind it back all those years ago, and you were living on Willfield Road. I think that was your introduction to Pembroke, was it?
That's right, just down the road from Pembroke. I moved there when I was 10 years of age from Port Darlington in County League. I wandered down the road one day. I was about 10 or 11. Wandered in and saw the game of cricket, and I thought to myself, that's a very nice looking game. And I took it up and played for the schoolboys. Uh, I was about 14 now, playing on the under 19, and we had a very strong side then. We had fellas like Ray and Paddy Dempsey, and a very good side, and we won everything really in the under 19. And then I managed to get on the first. I never played on the second at that time. I just seemed to wander straight on the first in 1955, aged 1955, what was it, 16.
Wow. How many men's teams can you remember would they have had back then? It was 4 or 5 teams.
Four.
Four.
Yeah, yeah. And the fourth was a very mixed and gathering lot. They really had three in the league, I think. And the fourth was just about there.
So you must have had a pretty good eye-hand coordination straight away to make that progress in such a short space of time, like never having played the game.
Yeah, well, of course, I was in Wesley College, and Frank Morrison was the
Mickey
cricket.
Morrison, I remember.
That's right, Mickey Morrison. He was the cricket coach and the maths teacher, and he took a great interest in me, I have to say, and taught me how to bowl off spin bowling, and I progressed quite rapidly actually because I got on the first at 15 or 16, and in fact, 2 years later, I was picked for the O'Grady Cup by Mickey Williams. We had a great season that year. Stan Bergen was captain, and we were going neck and neck for the O'Grady Cup, myself and Mickey Williams. I came to the last match against Railway, and we were both within sort of .00 of each other. And because Mickey was on his last year, and I was just a young upstart, Stan didn't give me a ball. And Mickey got about 5 for 10 or something and won the O'Grady Cup. I was quite comfortable at the time about that because I was only 16 or whatever. And I said, oh, I'll win it some year, but I never did. So, no.
Actually, could I ask you quickly, because I never saw him play. Stanley Bergen is regarded by many as one of the best players ever to play for Pembroke. What was he like? I mean, how would you rank him or rate him? Because we hear stories that he was the Irish Bradman in a way. Like, was he that good a player?
He was a very good player. Never took any chances at all. He was a left-hander. Great concentration. Absolutely great concentration. And if you look at the statistics, he didn't get all that many runs for Pembroke because he didn't. He was a journalist in the Independent and didn't play regularly. What I mean by that is, say there's 15 matches or whatever in the season, he might play only about 8 or 9 of them because he wasn't available for. He was a sports writer in the Independent, so he had to go away for a lot of matches, to write up on them. So he missed a lot of it. I think he only got about 3,000 runs for Pembroke.
Right.
I may be wrong there now.
He is highly regarded, though.
Very highly regarded. His famous innings was 70 odd against South Africa. They had a fast bowler called Ewan McCarthy, and he was pretty quick, and he got 78 against Ewan McCarthy in Court Park. Yeah. So he's great there. And he was very good to me because when I got on the Irish team at first, he was on the Irish team at the time, and he looked after me. Yeah.
Well, I'll come back to the Pembroke stuff in a second, but just that leads us into the ICU. Originally, a lot of people wouldn't know played for Ireland as an off spinner. Yeah. And he played I think a dozen times as an offie. So how was that getting into the Irish team as an off spinner? Obviously, a great accolade to make your international debut at such a young age. You remember it well?
I remember it very well. Yeah, my first match was against Scotland in Ayr. I never really did anything heroic for Ireland, really. I had a very mediocre international career, to be honest. Although I had a fiver against Yorkshire, and they had about 4 test players on the side at the time. And I had 4 against Leicestershire. In fact, I was offered terms as a professional by Leicester, but my mother wouldn't allow me to take it up because she wanted me to continue studies and etc. And she was right. I'd never have made it.
You wouldn't turn it down these days.
Turn it down these days. So.
And then, so that Pembroke side in the late 50s, apart from Stanley Bergen, who else was in that side? Mickey Williams, you
There
mentioned.
was Mickey Williams, there was Bill Houghton,
Yeah.
Harry Hill, Liam Moulton.
Ken Houghton in that team.
Ken Houghton played a few games, yes. Not as many as Bill.
Yeah.
Peter Webb.
Yeah, Peter Webb.
Yeah, Peter Webb. They were all internationals. I mean, Mickey Williams, Bill Houghton, Peter Webb. They were all international.
Well, it was the last up until 2024, obviously, when Pembroke had just won the League and Cup double. The last League and Cup double was back in 1957. So it just goes to show how hard it is to do. But if you roll on to the 60s, I think you mentioned to me before that the side in the 60s was probably the best Pembroke side that you played in for all round talent.
Oh, without a doubt. And I was very privileged actually to captain Pembroke 8 times, which I think is a record. And I also captained them in the 60s there 5 times in a row.
So 8 seasons you were.
Yeah, but I did 5 seasons in a row, and we won the league 3 times in succession, 67, 68, and 69, which again I think might be a record.
So that would have been Joe Byrne, yourself,
Joe
Ray
Byrne,
Moulton,
Harry.
Vinny Duffy.
Vinny Duffy. Yeah. He wasn't a regular,
No.
but he did play quite a few.
Yeah.
Sandy Smith, no. Sandy
Pat would have been.
Sandy came on a little later, actually, I think.
There was a Richard Whaley on one of the teams.
Yes, Richard Whaley.
Yeah.
He came from County Meath.
Yeah.
And he was a smashing player, but he didn't get much of a look in.
Yeah.
He was a batsman, and he would be batting about number 8. And because we had such a strong batting side, he very rarely got in, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you basically you turned yourself into a batsman. I mean, you always had ability as a batsman, but you actually got back in, just rewind a little bit, you got back into the Irish team as the batsman.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand this. Tell us about losing your action. Is it like the yips in golf? I mean, how does someone lose an action?
What happened was, everybody, when I was young, we were sent to Lords for coaching. And a lot of people said I lost my action because I went to Lords. That's totally wrong. What happened was we had no opening bowl. I was, after about 5 seasons, bowling off spinners and having reasonable success. The next season, for some reason, we had nobody to open the bowling. And Stan Bergen said, "You have a go opening the bowling with your off spinner." And for some reason, I started to bowl a little quicker.
Mm-hmm.
And my delivery stride got longer and longer. And as it got so long, my arm wasn't coming over the top, it was coming a bit around the armish. And I just lost the action totally. Poor old
Wow.
Harry Hill made a frame, a wooden frame to put on the ground to try and, down the net, to try and shorten my delivery stride, but nothing worked. And I just totally lost it. Luckily, I could bat a bit, and I concentrated on the batting, and started to get bundles of runs. In fact, I won the Barton Cup with 700 runs that season.
What number did you send the bat?
Opening.
Oh,
Yeah.
Steph and Sandy, wasn't it?
Sandy
Yeah,
Smith,
yeah.
And then you got you got back in the Irish team as a batsman.
And failed miserably. I got 0-0 in the 2 innings against Hampshire. My good friend Ken Orme got the finger up each time, playing miles forward. I never forgive him.
Where was that? Where was that?
That was out in Clontarf.
Clontarf, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So then we move on to the 70s, and well, you're now married and starting a family.
That's right.
And but the team didn't change that much in the early 70s. There was a lot of the guys in the 60s were still
Still there, yeah.
a couple of new ones. Ronnie Byrne started in the 70s.
Ronnie, Charlie Kavanagh. Harry had retired about then, I think.
Yeah.
About mid-70s.
Mid to late 70s.
Yeah, mid-70s, yeah.
Harry, of course, was a great keeper. He should have played for Ireland, but he never got on with Boucher.
Yeah.
He stumped Boucher once where because he was left-handed, and I was bowling off spinners and they'd sort of pitch it middle and leg, and it would just go down the leg side. He'd get it with the left hand and then hold on to it for a second, and Boucher just, the ball had just passed, just moved his leg out over the crease, and Harry up. And Boucher was one of the selectors at that time, and Harry never got an Irish cap.
Would we call that gamesmanship? Would we?
We would definitely call it. Yeah, we would definitely call it game.
But it was very different then in terms of the competition. So it was timeless.
It was timeless. Yeah.
Well, tell us about that, because a lot of people these days, it's all white ball cricket, as you know.
Yeah.
So timeless, basically. What was the strategy?
Well, the strategy was, I think it made the business of captaincy much more onerous, because you had to, if you were batting first, you had to decide, would we declare and give ourselves time to get them out, or usually because we had a very good batting side, we used to put the sides in. I thought it was a great game, to be honest. I don't like overs cricket. Even now, I can put up with the 50 overs. But I think the 20 overs cricket is a travesty. I think it's hurting.
It's a different game.
But now I say that as an old timer because I'm just so past it that I just don't comprehend it. But I don't like 20 overs.
And the wickets were obviously
Uncovered.
And I mean, if you got 200, would have been a massive score back then. What did you guys, when you sent teams in, what were you looking to roll them for?
Rolled them out for about 130.
Right.
Yeah.
you
And we
back
usually
yourself.
did. We
Yeah.
usually did.
Yeah.
Back yourself to do that.
Yeah.
Looking at that scorebook, you do see there's quite a number that you rolled out for low total.
Low total. Yeah.
But wasn't there one particular match that went on for 10 days?
That was a cup match
Yeah.
against Leinster down in Pembroke. And it rained a lot. And it was timeless. I think we came back 7 nights in a row to try and I was on holidays down in Wexford. And my poor wife had to put up with me leaving every evening about 4 o'clock, come back up to Pembroke when it would still rain again, no play, and just drive back down again. And this went on for 10 days. 10 different days.
When you finally got a result and won that one.
We did.
So I suppose the modern era in a way is professionals came in the 80s. I remember because I was around, our first professional was Nigel Seal. That's right. In 1980.
Yeah.
And we won the cup again. Were you for or against the pros? Are you still for or against pros? Do you have a position on the?
No, I
professionals?
thought the pros were an excellent idea because it created a great interest within the club. Now, one or two of them weren't fantastic, but some of them were very good coaches as well. Nigel Seal was there, yes, of course, the outstanding one, Chris Cougar.
Yeah.
Just before Cougs, we had Alan Stimson.
Alan Stimson.
Whose record, probably because you bowled 20 odd over on one end, his record of around 91.
He was
91.
incredibly great. And now he wasn't a good professional, in my view, for Leinster cricket. He was far too quick on dodgy wickets.
Yeah.
And he seemed to take great pride in hurting the batsman. I'll never forget. This was a friendly match actually, but it was against Watsonians, and he was playing in it, and Ray was captain. And say the 8, 9, 10 for Watsonians were just kind of gone. They weren't even first team players. And Stimson suddenly got great delight in hitting them on the head. And I said to Ray, for God's sake, take him off, really, because we're going to have a hospital case here. So which he did, he took him off. But, no, he wasn't good.
No helmet, of course.
No helmet, no tie pad.
No helmet.
And he got 91 wickets in his first season, 65 in his second.
Yeah.
Was he the quickest you saw?
Oh, by far.
Yeah.
By far.
And who was the quickest, like in the 50s, 60s, 70s? Was there any outstanding Irish quick then?
Well, Alec O'Riordan was
Yeah.
quickish.
Yeah.
Not as quick as Stimson, but he was quick. And in fact, in my view, Alec O'Riordan was the best Irish cricketer I've ever seen.
Right, wow.
He was a great all-rounder and a nice fellow as well, but he was a great cricketer.
You mentioned there quickly Chris Cougar,
Yeah.
who was actually my first coach as a kid, and Cougs, of course, played 2 seasons, 83 and 84, and once again you won the cup in 83, and he basically won it for us.
He got a ton out of
Malahide,
yeah. Outstanding guy to take the field with, I'd imagine.
A fantastic guy. Although he was a fantastic cricketer, he didn't portray that to you. He was one of the guys,
Yeah.
and that's what I liked about him. He became a very good friend of mine, and Cougarline was the epitome of a great pro.
Yeah.
You know,
I think that final out in the semi-final in Phoenix, you remember that game well with Pembroke got 332 and you got Masood out very early on, do you remember?
yes,
And
yes,
a fellow called Sharma had arrived. Do you remember?
that's right.
Yeah. That was an incredible game.
It was, yeah. I'll never forget actually a catch that Chris Cougarline got up in Phoenix. the 20 overs matches that happened, and Masood hit the ball miles up in the air. There was a short boundary as you dove up in the field, but he hit it to sort of long on, and Chris was on the boundary at square leg, and he ran about 50 yards, dived full length, and caught the ball an inch from the ground to get rid of it. It was the greatest
Wow.
catch I've ever seen.
He was a great fielder, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was a great
Yeah, I was.
So then, of course, in the 80s, you've got Gary and Kenny playing, even Lisa, Sarah played a little bit. What was it like having all the family down in the club? Was that it would have been felt a bit different, but
Well, we lived down there. I mean, towards the end of my career on the first, I started to coach the schoolboys on a Sunday morning at 10 o'clock. So my day, I don't know how my wife put up with it because I go down there for 10 o'clock, coach, then play a cricket match, and left at 10 o'clock at night. And possibly it was all 10, but then probably had 10 pints as well. So it was sort of 10, 10, and 10, Gary and Kenny were good cricketers. I would suggest Kenny probably was the best, but he gave up very early. He got a couple of hundreds actually, I think. He got a hundred for the second and third, did he?
Second set. I'm sure it was the second set.
And he got 100 for the schoolboys.
Yeah.
And Gary got it. I think he played about 10 or 13 games for the first, actually. But both of them then decided they both went to university and got qualified, and business sort of took over, for want of a better word, and they gave up the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happened. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I was sad to see, but I think the proof of the pudding is in the eating. That I was successful in business, so
yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
And you, of course, you didn't just finish on the first, and that was the end of your connection to Pembroke. You captained the second.
And enjoyed every minute of it. I love being captain. I think that's why I selfishly probably became captain of the second. Because I love being captain. And I love being captain of the first as well.
Well, I love playing under you. Because I was only new to that level of cricket. It was great to have the experience there.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you managed the first team for a number of years.
Then, they just couldn't get rid of me. I just love the camaraderie and the dressing room atmosphere, you know. Yeah. And really enjoyed being manager. Yeah.
And we'll have to get you down to the club again maybe next season. You were there for the dinner, only the celebratory dinner in 2018.
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
It was great to see you, but we'll have to maybe try and get you down to the club again.
Hope to have the reunion.
I must admit, I really enjoyed playing for Ireland. I mean, it was a great honour.
Yeah.
The highlight would have been playing at Lords against a very good MCC side. They had on that side that day Len Hutton, Keith Miller.
Wow.
I was a loss to then, but I managed to get Keith Miller out both innings.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
And when I went out to bat, he was bowling. I was batting number down. I was the off spinner, so but he was bowling and he was pretty quick. Yeah. And I took guard and I looked up, and he was at the end of the run and he nodded his head and I thought, what the hell is going on here? And he careered in and bowled a gentle full toss outside the off stump, which I hit out to the covers and ran down and saved it. And when I got to the other end, he said, Well, son, you didn't get a duck your first game at Lord. I
Wow.
thought for one of the greats of cricket,
Wow.
that was something else, you know.
Alan Simpson wouldn't have done that.
And the final, there was some great things at that match because on the MCC side was the Maharaja of Baroda. And the Maharaja arrived at Lord's that day with a bag as big as the room here, with 12 brand new bats in it, carried by two flunkies. It was brought up to their dressing room, and we were wondering what the hell is going on here. So he said, Mr. Hutton, he said, I wonder would you help me choose which bat I should use. So Hutton started picking the bats out of the bag. 1, 2, 3, 9, 10. The Maharaj is getting really excited now. 10, 11, 12. Well, Mr. Hutton, which bat should I use? And in his broad Yorkshire accent, he said, all these bats are far too good for you.
And you mentioned there you had the 10, 10, 10.
Yeah.
What was it like? So off the field, did you celebrated your wins and commiserated your losses? Was it good fun socially, Pembroke?
Pembroke was incredibly social. In those days, there was no, sorry, in those days there was no such thing as breathalyzer. I don't know how many times we would drive home at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. It was incredible. The social atmosphere was fantastic. And of course, there was the licensing laws, you know, just went out the window. No, there was a great atmosphere there.
Even back in the 50s.
Yeah, they used to have great sing-song there. What's the name of the singer who sang in Les Mis and all them from Ireland?
Colin Wilkinson.
Colin Wilkinson. Well, he was a relation of Paul Creed, who was a member of Pembroke. And he used to come down with Paul quite a bit. And I can remember him singing, I mean, the most incredible voice. Followed by Cyril, followed by poor old Cyril. It was great fun. Oh, the social life down there was fantastic. Yeah,
Wonderful. All right.
Yeah.
Tim, it's been an absolute. We could talk for hours.
Yeah.
absolutely.
An absolute pleasure, but don't be a stranger to the club.
No,
See you,
absolutely
see you
not.
down there on the wall.
Well, no,
Next
I
season.
still have there was one day I went down to Pembroke about 2 years ago, and I just had a feeling that a few people thought, there's a guy, he's no interest in Pembroke anymore, sort of thing. He's never been down. And I was a bit hurt in myself, which is a bit stupid because I felt I gave 40 years to the club, you know, and I still a great interest in the club. But there comes a time in your life where things change.
Yeah.
Your family grows up, your grandchildren turn up. So, you know, that's why I haven't been down very often. But thanks for the invitation. I certainly will make a big effort.
Yeah, absolutely too. Yeah. Just before, there was one time when you were captain of the seconds camp, and there was about half an hour to tea, and you said to me, "Will you open the bowling?" Because I was bowling off break
Yes,
as well.
yes.
And I said, "You don't want me to open." He said, "I want you to open." And Lenny Dexter, you remember? Lenny
Yes,
Dexter?
I do. Yeah.
And you just said to me, "Push it through really quick." So I did, and I hit him right in the box.
Yes, yes.
And I could see he was annoyed. And I was just walking back, and he came over and said, "Loft it." And he came down the wicket, like stumped.
Yeah.
And but it was, I'll never forget that. It was, yeah, I'll never forget it. Yeah. Yeah.
The old master.
There's just one thing I do remember before I finish. One nasty thing happened. About I was very close to getting the 10,000 runs. And you probably would remember this, Sharpie. It was up in Marion.
Yeah, we should have spoken about it because I played in the game when you got the 10,000.
Yeah, we were up in Marion and we were just about to win the game. I was batting quite well and I needed 3 more runs to get to the 10,000 against Marion. And Stanley Parkinson, the captain of Marion, instructed his bowler to bowl 3 wides, which he did. So I didn't get the 10,000 against Marion. And I thought that was so unsporting that he just didn't want me to get the 10,000 against Marion. Yeah.
But you got it the week later
Yeah,
up,
I did,
up in Terranure.
The big outside edge of Moore.
Eddie Moore.
Eddie Moore, yeah.
But it's still the holy grail of Leinster cricket.
Yeah.
10,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thanks a million, Ed.
Oh, that was great. You got all that, Johnny.